take you on the executive orders by the acting president, looking at ease of doing business, which is very important in this country, which also is fast-tracking the budget processes, which you said has been a challenge, and finally the Made in Nigeria. What's your take on it as a lawyer?
Brilliant. Brilliant, bills, acts. But I want to register a company to start with. I still don't see any reason why I should go to Abuja or go to CAC to go fill the form and, drop those forms there, and then I'll keep, look for somebody to ensure that he helps me monitor it. And
the process has been reformed now, making it within a...
That's what I'm saying. It's on paper, but in practice, it's still the same process. I need to, I don't see any reason why I cannot log in online. If I want to register a business, do the name search right in my office, if it is available, fill all the necessary forms, pay all the necessary fee online, and then scan and send and get a response, automated. So with that, you don't need to begin to look for, the process of who will rush to Abuja or rush to Yaba or go to Alausa for you to register a business. Also, importation, which is our mainstay. You have about 30-something agencies, about 11 agencies with almost 70-something signatures, even both import and exports. Some of the agencies you have at the port do not have business, even at the port. Go to the airports where customs are still using manual hands to search your bag, bring out your undies and, okay, what is this? How about this one? You're talking about ease of doing business when even you cannot get your power right. These are priorities. So on paper, fantastic. But it's a right step in the right direction if we now take steps to providing the infrastructures to tally with what we have on paper. So it becomes easy and people will truly say, yes, Nigeria is serious in embracing the world in terms of doing business. In Nigeria now, you want to do business, you want to see a minister, is it that easy? That's why people pay to see political office holders. You lobby. You want to, how do we treat tenders? Before you see it advertised in the papers, some people they've closed them because they've selected preferred bidders. But to fulfill your righteousness, because the law says you must advertise, and so you have it in the papers, you have it advertised. At the end of the day, if you don't know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody there, you'll not be selected. How do people get contracts here? Do you just sit down there and you say, okay, yes, I want to bid for this job, and then you go, they say, come and do it. These are businesses.
These are things that we expect that this committee chaired by the acting president would address. And of course, the next 2 years,
we're very good
presidential enabling business.
We are very good at creating committees. These are people, when they were in opposition, they didn't create committee to identify the problems. And they didn't create committee to profile solutions. Did they create committee during the campaigns to tell us what they are going to do? Take agriculture, for example. Do you need to create a committee to know the agricultural hubs and how to partner with those states to even, because the manual agriculture without processing, most of your goods would go bad without storage and processing. What are we doing in terms of processing? We produce so much mangoes, but we don't make mango juice.
And those are things that the
ministry have laid out. That's what we're saying. You need to, first and foremost, encourage, the ease. Provide power. Not, you sign papers, yes, great. Those are papers we would have signed long ago by 2015. By now, 2 years gestation period, by now, would have been getting to that point of self-sustenance. Look at what Lagos State government did with rice production. They knew that by December there was going to be high demand. But because they don't have land, they had to partner with people that have land. I can tell you that the Kebbi State government did not plant one rice. But what they did was to encourage farmers to plant rice. Anambra State government did not plant one rice. What they did was to encourage millers. Millers. And they gave standard. Your standard must get to this. We will buy from you for local consumption. Local consumption alone, they couldn't even meet the local consumption. You know, and so with that, you set up and then you give targets. And so it was now left for the millers to mop up the rice. And that would then be the moment farmers knew that people were going to buy rice, millers were buying rice in droves. Everybody went into rice farming. Obasanjo's time, people went into cassava production, but there were no buyers. There were no off-takers. So, and then the government also knew that, okay, the species also was important. You give out species, this is the species that will thrive here. We're talking about patronizing made in Nigerian goods. How well have we empowered the man who is making that made in Nigerian shoes? I saw one young boy, brilliant. He's the one that makes shoes for me now.
Made in Nigeria.
Made fantastic, including the guy that makes my clothes with my signature on it. Wow. Fantastic young boys. But I look at their shop, they are constrained. They need to expand. But you go to Bank of Industry, you queue up forever to access loan for these small businesses.
There's now a development bank now suited to meet that.
That's this.
So
by the time you find a way of empowering, it shouldn't have been a problem of local government, federal government. If you ensure that the local government are thriving, people can walk into local government to access these loans from the local government. But typical of us, what we have created government of, we've made him so difficult that anybody that gets there would want patronage to even do these things. Brilliant young man making shoes. I tell you, if he makes shoe for you, you will think that these shoes are brought from Italy. Wow. And I saw him, I was like, wow, fantastic. We need to take this to the next level. We're looking for fun now to see how we can, encourage him. The guy making my clothes, the same thing. And you have so many others like that. That's just one sector. Fashion. How about agriculture? What are we doing? How about even in manufacturing sector? Why did our manufacturers, most of these made in Nigerian goods, why did they fold up? Because they can't compete with the ones that are made in China. Labor is cheap. And so even the cost of bringing it, at the end of the day, you put it together, it is cheap. And then the rollover, the turnover time. And so Nigeria became a dumping ground. Our textile industries, we now go to Ghana to buy material. We still take these materials to China to make. So these are ways you can actually, once you fix your power, you now begin to create, platforms for people to access. It is not Nigerian market is large. We can't even produce, enough for our market. Not to talk of even taking to your neighboring countries. So there's hope if truly we look inward. If we stop this blame game of, the PDP destroyed this country. Why the same people that are in the same party that are telling you PDP destroyed the country are the ones in another party? If also the people recognize the fact that they have to be vigilant, it is not at every turn that they pat government in the back. You need to put government consistently on its toes. You need to demand higher responsibility from them. That's the only way you can get the best from them. Otherwise, power, they say, corrupts. Do you know why power corrupts? Because the moment you get there, you assume this responsibility. It takes somebody that gave you that power to remind you that, no, you can't. You need to. We are answerable to us. And so when you keep quiet, he assumes absolute powers. And that corrupts more.